I've been thinking a lot about why friendships fade. Not in a judgmental way, just from my own experience and nothing more. And today, I want to talk about the quiet, honest reasons behind it. I know everyone has their own story, and I'm not saying my way is the right way, just the way I've learned to protect my peace. I realized that I became more selective or maybe wiser, and that it's simply not worth investing time, energy, patience, and empathy in superficial, convenient relationships. And somewhere along the way, I started noticing a pattern. I got tired of empty conversations, gossip, and the perpetual complaining about things we can't control or aren't even trying to change. I got tired of being the target of someone else's temper outbursts or unpredictable mood swings. Then there's the kind of friendship that only survives when you're the one keeping it alive. If you call, they're happy to have someone to listen or a shoulder to cry on. But if you don't reach out, you'll never hear from your so-called friend again. Then there's the friend who only remembers your name when they need something. They're happy to go out for dinner, but somehow they always forget their wallet, or they're going through a rough time and can't split the bill. And again, I'm not blaming anyone here. This is simply what I've observed in my own life. Another type of friendship I let go of was the one I kept as a safety net. Just in case I ever needed help, like if I needed surgery or got stuck in the hospital and needed someone to take care of my dogs. Eventually, I realized it wasn't worth it, especially when some kind of payback was clearly expected. There are always other solutions that don't require maintaining a relationship out of obligation. But not every friendship ends because something went wrong. The most precious kind of friend I ever lost was simply because life happened. The classic script. We get carried away by this modern, chaotic schedule. Work 5 days a week, 9 to 5, take the kids to school, do the laundry, walk the dog, maybe squeeze in an hour to get a decent haircut. I also lost some lovely friendships that were purely circumstantial, the ones that last only during college or as long as you share the same office building. Then life takes us in different directions, and we meet new people, and we forget the ones we left behind. And then there's the exhaustingly demanding my way or no way at all kind of friendship. At some point, I realized I didn't have the energy for that dynamic anymore, and I didn't need to justify stepping away from something that drained me. Sometimes people simply take a different path. So you part ways, say goodbye, give them a last warm hug, keep their memory in your heart, and think of them once in a while over a quiet cup of coffee in your kitchen. It took me a long time to understand that it's natural for people to stay together only for as long as it feels good. I've outgrown the need to be involved in meaningless relationships, and I've learned to accept that spending more time alone can be peaceful, nourishing, and deeply rewarding. I stopped being afraid of other people's opinions and judgments. I stopped yearning for validation and applause from a fake audience. I wish I had known better in my early 20s, but back then I was young, a little foolish, and far too busy admiring my new pair of fancy shoes. In the middle of all that inner sorting, something quietly reassuring became clear to me. Genuine friendships still exist, and they keep us going. They nurture our souls. They remind us that connection doesn't have to be complicated to be real. They feel effortless in a world that often asks too much of us. We call each other for no reason. We talk about small things and important things. We make each other laugh. We have a history. We help each other move a piano across the living room on a cold winter Saturday. We binge on ice cream because our significant other turned out not to be that significant and left us with a half-empty closet after 5 years. We go ice skating in our late 40s even if we look silly. We share hobbies, we tolerate and appreciate our differences because that can give us perspective. And we compromise because giving and taking feels natural when someone is truly worth it. So let's talk. Tell me if you've felt this too. I'd love to hear your happy, complicated, or not so happy stories about friendship, about the choices we make when it comes to being lonely but true to ourselves. I'll be back with more topics that bring like-minded people together in one place. And truly, thank you for being here. These are my thoughts for today. Over and out.